Hi guys, welcome back to Karamia's Corner. Join me today for a craft with me video. Let's make a junk journal cover using a paper bag, some bubble wrap. This was inspired by Artie Mace's Junk in the Trunk video where she uses a yellow padded envelope. So I don't have that. I'll be using what I have at home. I've pulled a few other items that I'm planning to use, and I will be showing paper and other items that I've pulled on the side here in just a bit. But first, here are some stamps that I've pulled, and now I am going to stick down our bubble wrap on our Lucky's paper bag here. I'm using my Fabri-Tac glue. Also going to be speeding up the process just so it doesn't take too much time. So I hope you guys are doing well. I've been doing a lot of cleaning at home and a lot of reorganizing and just spending quality time with the kids, helping them with homeschooling. I hope you guys are doing well as we stay home for now. So applying also Fabri-Tac glue on the other side of this so we can cover it. Now I'm planning to stitch the border of this cover so it has a better finish and it has that vintage look to it. So after I've attached this, I'm going to run it through my sewing machine and I'll show you what that looks like in just a sec. So here it is. I've stitched around it with some zigzag pattern. Now I'm using some brown paint to kind of add like a distressed or aged look. And I forgot to put some paper towel on the table, so I put that there. Now Artemis was using some spray ink, Tim Holtz spray ink that I don't have on hand, but I did find some brown paint that I'm going to be using just to kind of make the white thread look a little bit more vintage and older. But you can definitely use also your Tim Holtz Distress stamp, which I have, but I'm not going to use for this project. So it's been a while since I've played with my paints and I haven't done a really mixed media type project. So I thought this would be a fun challenge. So I'm using some brown paint just to add a little bit more of a brown hue, darker brown color on our paper bag. It's two different kinds of brown, so I thought it would be a good match. And I love that the paper bag's already crinkled, so I don't have to really crumple it up. Now I'm adding some blue, and blue is one of my favorite colors. I love light blues, all shades of blue, navy blue, and especially teal. So this is one that I've found from my daughter Lil's old stash of paint, so I thought I'd use it up for this cover. And so we're just going to go ahead and add more paint and just cover up the entire page, just randomly brushing it across the page here. So the next step is obviously to dry it up in just a few, but I'm gonna have to look and see if this is really the finish that I want on my cover. It's the first time I'm using this padded look. I haven't really used this for my junk journal covers. I usually use my cereal boxes as a base for the covers. This does have a crinkly sound to it when you fold it over. I really don't mind it, but it's not my first preference if it were for a cover. But I thought we'd just add more texture, a little cushioning in there, which is fun. So more blue. Not quite getting the color I want yet, so I'm just gonna keep adding this and we'll see where it takes us. I'm also going to be showing you a little signature that I'll be making for this project, and we'll get there once we finish the cover. So now I'm just laying more paint on top of our page here, and that's the fun part again of mixed media. You can just mix a bunch of colors if you'd like. In this case, I'm mixing 3 colors. So now I'm applying a little bit of white gesso on top. Kind of like that wood grain finish that it's coming out or coming through the paper there. So I like that so far. I might change my mind in a minute, and this is how I craft. I'll have one idea, and if I see something else might transpire. So just go with the flow. So now a little bit more gesso. I'm going to be doing some stamping as well. So I want the stamping to kind of come through. And so the white gesso will help do that. So I've totally changed my mind and I've decided to put more gesso, and I really am liking this crack look. As it reminds me of flaked wood from old furniture or on, you know, wooden kind of wall, and flaked paint even. So I like that distressed look, and I'm using my Daiso cookie rolling pin, and it's pretty fun to roll around. And then now I'm applying some more blue. Love the blue, so we're just gonna add a little bit more here and there just to kind of keep the theme of blue, white together. And the nice thing about that is so light, so it's not such a heavy blue. So I just little hints. I added a little bit more there, but I will be adding a little bit more of the blue. I just wanted to have a more even coverage there for the gesso. So we'll add that, and the next part is decorating, which is one of my favorite parts, is putting the cover together and adding some embellishments. Now I came into this project with no real plan really. I mean, I had a few ideas, but I pulled a number of items and papers and whatnot that we'll be looking through together to see what we'll be making for the cover and for our signature. So I'm going to be doing some stamping next after I finish painting and drying this cover here. So just a little bit more blue there, and now it's time for stamping. So I have my Bow Bunny stamp here. I think these have like typewriter keys on it with the letters. And then I also have some other stamps that I'll be using here. We have some, these have like script writing, just random words. So I'm going to be stamping it on several areas of, this is the back page of our cover. So you can see that that's coming through there. So I like that look. And I'm also going to apply some stamping at the bottom and top of our front page. Now I'm not putting any stamping in the middle because that's going to be covered, so I think it's pointless. So now let's pick our papers. I really like this sheet. It's a mosaic sheet from a little booklet that I have. I think it's For the Love of Paper. So I picked some old pages from books and some other random scrapbooking paper here as well. So I like this postcard. It's an Acrobat, and I recently watched The Aeronauts with my husband, and the character's really, the lead female character is really brave and playful, so I thought that would kind of fit that theme. So now see, I changed my mind quickly, and I see some other scrapbooking paper here that will probably better fit the theme I'm going for. Now I really love the clouds with the words in the text in there. So I think I might go with this type of cover and layering, and I love the brightness of the pink and yellow. And then we have the purple possibly underneath. So here it is. I have torn the purple page, and now I'm going to apply some distress ink at the edges. I love this. My daughter Emmy loves doing distressing. When she sees me doing this on some of my junk journal pages, she actually volunteers and asks if she can do it. She just loves this process. So here is our little layer underneath that Acrobat postcard. So I'm going to distress it just a little bit more, and I've decided to apply some distress ink as well on the postcard. The white is just too bright, so I kind of want to make it a little bit more vintage, give it a more older look to it. So I'm just lightly applying some of that ink on there just to give it that vintage look. I'm also using that burgundy trim. I think it's so pretty. I'm going to put it on the spine. in just a sec. But first, I am going to put all these layers together for our cover. I've also pulled out some tickets on the side there, you'll see. And just applying more of this Tim Holtz ink on the edges just to complete that vintage kind of look. Again, love the blue borders on this one, so I think it'll go well with the blues that are already on the cover. And so now we have that, it's time for me. I think I'm going to stitch this on. So I'll be right back and I'll show you. So here's a closer look. I applied some of a doily sticker on the top and I stitched around the sheets here. At the bottom you have that little nameplate, and I've stitched that across as well. So that's what our cover looks like, and we are going to stick it on with our Fabri-Tac here. So on the back side of this cover, I've also applied some of that Tim Holtz Distress ink over the actual stamped words there, just to give it again that more vintage look. So now I'm going to just press that down, and we have our cover. The next project will be our little pockets here that I've decided to put on each side of our cover. So it's the excess paper I had from the front sheet that I used, so I thought it would go well and would match the theme of the cover. So the Aeronauts movie was pretty fun. It was based on an actual true story of a balloonist in the 1800s. The female character is actually fictional, but is based on another balloonist back in that time. So just going to adhere this to our side, and we'll work on our insert next. So I really love, again, it has some music sheets, and this sheet has that mixed media finish. Looking good so far. Let's work on our insert next. Alright guys, so inside I did a few things. Over here I printed an image from the movie The Aeronauts and went ahead and cut this image of the lead character. So here she is standing on the basket of the air balloon. I just Mod Podged it on this pocket. And in here I have a little cute insert, and we have this little image that I got and printed online. And she looks like she has an air balloon looking dress here, and it fits the 1800 era. So I used this beautiful little vellum little sheet here, and I created a pocket on this side. So you can insert, or I can insert something there. On the flip side here, I use this is from Your Creative Studio kit that they have for their vintage subscription box, and this one was a ticket themed one. So if you'd like to see that unboxing, I'll put the link in the description box. So I use several of the tickets that they had. This is one of them. I just distressed it with some of that distressing ink. We have our ticket here and another one that says Telegraph. So I'm planning to possibly put a little pocket here so I can insert it. Now I'm looking at our cover and I just realized that I did cover the spine with the ribbon. I really don't want to stitch our insert or my insert, so I've decided for the actual signature I'm going to use this pocket as a holder for the signature. So I'm going to use the last page. So I'm thinking, for example, if this were the back page or cover, so I would just slide it in like this, and that would be my insert. I'm thinking this would probably be the right size for it. So right now the size of our actual cover is 9 by 6, and for the cover we'll have to see what size this is. So that's what I've done so far. And then in the front, I just added a couple more embellishments here. A blue floral flower here. And this beautiful heart gem that my snail mail friend Sandra had in our summer embellishment swap. So wanted to use it, and I thought it was perfect for this theme, just to give it a little more color. I love the liveliness and yet the vintage kind of look, in a way, a mix of vintage modern on our cover. So now we're going to work on picking the pages for our signature. So I'm going to use this as a template for the size, and I've pulled several pages and different random scrapbooking pages here. I want to find one that I can use for a cover. So I have some of this. This is from the DIY shop. I don't remember right off the bat what the name of the collection is. Again, I love this, that it has already that mixed media look to it. So I might use one of these sheets for the cover. Now for the pages, I have some of these. I also have leftover pages from my Jane Davenport friendship journal. We have these. I have some of that as well. And I have these wonderful 6x6 double-sided sheets that I think will also be great to add. I've also pulled some of these wonderful sheets here from For the Love of Paper. It's a paper booklet, and if you'd like to see that flip through again, it's a wonderful resource book for people that love to read, write letters to their friends, for pen paling. And in this case, I want to use some of the pages from that booklet for our signature. And I think if I fold it in half, we're going to look at our craft envelope here. I think it'll fit perfectly on the size. I'll just have to trim it. Or yeah, so this is our grid sheet here. I also found some with these beautiful florals, and I love this one as well. So I might add some of these pages. I like this one. I'd like to add that as well. We have another wonderful grid sheet here. I like this one with the florals and the constellation. So I thought this would be a nice addition to our signature here. Also brought out my Maggie Holmes little sticker set here. I think I can add it, have some of these, but I'm not sure I would add, I'd probably add this one. We'll see. I have these. Still trying to decide, so I'm just showing you what I have. So I have some music sheets that I can definitely use for this one. I also realized that the theme kind of matches the graphic 45. Let me just pull it. We have our World Fair graphic 45 paper, and I have a few pages left here, and I think it would be great to use these as well. Let's see if the colors match, or I can use some of the images in here. I also got this ephemera pack. I thought this would be great also to decorate. Might use this one for a pocket. And then I also just pulled some other random sheets. This is from Authentique, and I believe it's the Heritage Collection. And this one, I really don't, at DIY shop, I think so, yeah. So use that, and we have these cut aparts in this as well. I love the brightness in here. So mixture of vintage pieces there. So here's another one, and I love the air balloon in the back there. This is a remnant. I have a pocket, so we're going to put this all together. Have these, and I also have this packet. I'll see if anything might match. And I also have this old image that I have that I printed out of this air balloon, so I thought this would be perfect for a page as well. So I'll be right back. I'm going to piece this together and show you what I come up with. Alright guys, let's have a look at the signature I put together. So I decided to stitch it separately from our cover and use the back page and slide it into the side pocket here to hold it in place. So a few things, I added this air balloon here as a little pocket for a little journal card. For the cover, I'm not quite done. I feel like it needs another image to kind of make it pop and make it more colorful. So I was looking through my antiquarian sticker book here and I found a couple images. One I've already lost here, but one that I've been eyeing is this particular one with this girl in blue, and I just love the wonderment in her eyes. I think it goes with the word imagination, so I love that. And then there was another one, I just lost the page. Here she is. So we have this beautiful sticker of a girl doing a curtsy, and again I love the blue color on her dress, so I thought that would be nice to see on the cover. Comment below and let me know which ones or which of those two stickers would fit the theme best. So this is a signature, and inside I have the graphic 45 paper here, again carrying in the balloon theme here, but not necessarily the theme of the entire journal. I also have a page with constellations and florals. Here I have some fabric that I've glued onto the page. So it's created like these cute little pockets. So we have a top loading one and a bottom pocket there. And over here I found a quilting page I thought was pretty with the geometric shapes and the colors. Opposite this blank page here, we have a recipe book, some grid pages. This one was a wonderful find. It happened to be a quilt with air balloons, so I thought that was perfect for this little journal. And then we have a vintage music sheet here. This was for the Love of Paper booklet that I have, and I just love the mosaic look on the paper. We have notebook, some double-sided scrapbooking paper. This is another stationery sheet. Folded this and we've created a little pocket there. Also love this, again, floral vintage looking scrapbooking paper. More grid paper. This is again from the Quilting magazine. And this one I really like the vintage colors and looks and designs. And then here are two of book pages that I have from, I think this is again from the Flow book. So I attached both of them and they're in the center of our signature and created two pockets there, and I have a little question and answer sheet there. On this page we have this green like moss green, and has little prompts, so I thought I'd use that as a little collage page, and another prompt on the gray. And then we have this beautiful quilting page with more grid paper. So it continues here. We have our little pocket. And there's more of the quilt music sheet. Love the colors on this one as well. This is our recipe sheet. Love the tear there. And then we have more of that quilting page. I also love this page with the purple and that flower at the corner there. So on the back we have those two other pockets, and then here I have an envelope. Still going to decorate more of these, probably going to decorate this as well. This is a top-loading little envelope. We flip it over and I have more space to play with and journal on. So this part here will go into our pocket, and there you have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little project that was initially inspired by Artie Mays. I'll put her link in the description box and have you have a look at what she did to her cover. So this is my version of that project. So thanks again for watching Caramia's Corner. See you next time. Bye.